you if we tried to tell the world what was going on, because you're always told as a survivor, nobody's ever going to believe you. And as you can see, people disappear or die or become sitting ducks, or they get messed with by the FedEx man, or somehow something happens with the postman, and or somebody is drowning in a bathtub or in a shallow river somewhere on a paddleboard. That's what happens to people when they start speaking the truth, right? To unpack, digest, and follow. I need a minute, right? Understandable. Some people thought we were absolutely freaking crazy. Some people thought, like, I'm just okay. She's completely lost it.
And I'm really sorry. And she got hurt. She bled a lot. And she got really sick. And I didn't get to see her anymore after that.
People tie 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old children to horse stables and have horses and dogs with them, and then they get off on that.
I want to believe it. That's why they attacked me when I took the air out of her story. But see, when Allie Carter came back and, also addressed it.
Have you all seen how Allie Carter abruptly disappeared from the limelight after airing out the darkest truths about some of the greatest celebrities in Hollywood? Like, 1 minute she's all over social media, dropping bomb after bomb, then boom, nothing. Well, Jaguar Wright is back, and she is not keeping quiet. She's out here supporting Allie's accusations and low-key implying that there are some big celebrities who are attempting to shut Allie up for good. Now, rumor on the street indicates that things have grown so serious that Allie has apparently been taken into protective custody. And although some people assume it's tied to the next Diddy trial, which, by the way, is less than a month away, Jaguar feels there's a whole other dimension to this. She believes that there are certain major names, even larger than Diddy, who are terrified Allie could expose what's left in their vault. And they're willing to do whatever it takes to make sure she doesn't. So the issue is, will they get to her first? And exactly who are these celebs who are reportedly coming for Allie Carter's life?
There were shrines used for rituals. There's bloody places. There's parts where there's limbs. People cut off limbs and want you to have in it. There's blood. There's blood that I don't even know who it belongs to. There's a lot.
So hang on. So someone like the people that you've named are here at these shrines where there is human flesh, bones, human body parts, and they want people to participate in amongst all of this human blood. Is that a satanic ritual? Feces? Is this a satanic ritual that they are participating in?
Yes. Yes, there's people who want to, there's people who have animals, dead animals. I was taken, and told that I had to give a to, Biden.
So Joe Biden was there at this shrine.
Something happened. I don't know what happened. I was down there for a while. There's certain people that you don't talk about because you just don't. There were certain people that I seen down there, from Beyonce, Jay-Z. You don't tell on P. Diddy, but P. Diddy.
So you said you don't tell on these people. Is that like a code that all victims adhere to? They don't talk about this stuff?
Yes, you don't, because nobody's gonna believe you. You're nothing to them. You don't count. You're just a toy. You're not essential, as they call them. You're expendable. And as a child in that situation, I wasn't the type of person that was fighting all the time, because I started to learn who I was. I started to learn my pimp. I started to learn what I was in. I started to learn that you don't fight.
Now, I just know that some of y'all are sitting there going, wait a minute, who is Allie Carter? So let me give y'all a little background before we go into all this craziness, because you're going to want to know her name. Well, Ally Carter is a victim of child sex trafficking. And y'all, the tale she's been telling, she's not just talking about being exploited. She's been calling out names and explaining what truly went on at several of these so-called celebrity gatherings. But she maintained they weren't simply crazy get-togethers. No. According to Ally, these were satanic ritual orgies. Her words, not mine. Well, she went as far as stating these weren't freak-offs, they were satanic rites. Get it correctly. It wasn't simply grown-ups at these events. The grown-ups were accountable for the juvenile sex slaves that were at the gathering. And one of those youngsters was me. And y'all, let's not act fresh new. We've heard murmurs about this stuff for years, but Ally came through with her face showing, her name connected, and straight up called it out. But ever since then, her life has never been the same. After her tale acquired national prominence around 2020, she and her family allegedly lost their house, went through many relocations, and were practically driven out of their usual existence. And that's when things began to become pretty terrifying. But get this, Ally really sought to take legal action. She sued against Riverside County Child Protective Services, alleging that they had a part in her trafficking. But reportedly, her proof was disregarded. Like, not even a thorough inquiry. And if that's not suspicious, I don't know what is.
City parties. Those are parties. And I was one of the kids that was one of the party favors. And a party favors means that you're set on top of a table and you're used as a toy for anybody who comes across the table or who wants to party at a certain time of night when the music stops and then the DJ starts flashing all these lights and they close the doors, and then everybody turns into like a frenzy and starts going into a crazed,
Oh God, it sounds like an absolute nightmare.
animal like demonic state, and you have no idea what's going on. And yes, there was a time where I was just like completely don't give a shit because it happened, and I was the type of kid that thought that, you know, you're in the presence of royalty and they make it seem like you're in the presence of Hollywood, so you should be honored and you should be appreciating that you're there. And I was that person. I totally acted like that. I was like, oh, it's fine, you know, it really doesn't matter. I was not brought or traded for, but that didn't matter to a few celebrities that were there. It's not just celebrities, there's a lot of different people. They called it an all-black party, but it was mainly because a lot of the party favors were black kids. I was in the care of Riverside County Child Protective Services at the time. I was 15, barely 16.
But Ally also urged other survivors to be wary about contacting official support hotlines, claiming they're not always available to assist. She spoke about how money was being used to silence individuals and even dubbed it blood money, whether it came from hush payments or false charitable groups. She stated she didn't want financial support. She simply needed actual support from real people. She was making a lot of sense, y'all, but too much noise for some of the elites who were satisfied with all their secrets being hidden. And here is when everything became particularly gloomy. Ally genuinely anticipated that LA would be burning to cover evidence. I kid you not. She stated the elites would set the city on fire to remove evidence of what's truly been going place behind closed doors. But fast forward to today. And what have we seen? Fires racing across several sections of LA. And although it may seem like a stretch to some people, for others, it's just too on the nose. People are beginning to connect the dots. Ally warned us, and now it appears like the cleaning staff is already working overtime. So then arrives Jaguar Wright. Y'all know Jaguar is never one to hold her tongue. She's been calling out Hollywood for years, and now she's stepping out to say she believes Ally 100%. But she's arguing that some celebs are out here intentionally attempting to make Ally vanish. And Jag isn't talking about analogies. She's talking life or death realness. And Jaguar stated this isn't the first occasion that anything like this has occurred. She pointed out how Cat Williams was also attacked once he began exposing the business.
And I'll never forget the day when they breached the house. And I left. You know, back in that moment, Cat was still wearing Kevlar to bed. I would get in bed with him at night and he would have Kevlar on. In bed.
When Ally Carter came back and, also addressed it. On a good face, I tried to say all the right things. I tried not to compromise everybody. I tried. And guess what?
At what moment did it not work? Like, were you like, man?
Sitting with my son's corpse. For what? was the question that loomed about my mind. For what?
Jack, can I ask you, when we see you working with the Roots, you got a Coca-Cola commercial, your album's coming out, you're on Song Cry with Jay-Z for the MTV Unplugged.
I was on the whole show.
Yeah, at what point
Thank God Mary sucks.
where did the train stop? Like, at what moment did you feel like either you removed yourself or
the
you were
second that I decided I had to walk away, because I knew if I stayed, I was gonna either be unalived or have to unalive. I sat on Piers Morgan and I said, he's gonna start little fires everywhere and force everyone else to carry water while he walks away with no response. Isn't that what we've seen happen ever since I did Piers Morgan?
So when you look at all Allie's gone through, her home being trashed, her family getting threats, having to relocate many times, and still being followed, yeah, it's not far-fetched to assume that she does need some protection. But now I know that y'all are all wondering, who are these celebrities that she's been naming, y'all? Let's just say some of these names could shock you. We're going bypass Diddy because, let's be real, everybody knows Diddy's in the mix, and he's got a whole encyclopedia of claims at this point. But first up on the list is none other than Oprah Winfrey. Yes, Gail's bestie. According to Allie Carter, the same lady who's been speaking out about trafficking and Hollywood's darkest secrets, she claims she was barely 15 years old when she was brought to Oprah Winfrey's mansion. And the things Allie claimed occurred there, I wish I could say they were too outrageous to believe, but with all we've heard recently, it's impossible to discern what's genuine and what's untrue.
Recently, Oprah made headlines by announcing her move abroad, citing political tensions as her reason for leaving the U.S., but the timing has many questioning her decision. Her sudden exit comes just as Diddy's criminal trial kicks off, and Allie Carter's resurfaced allegations are raising more eyebrows about Hollywood's hidden activities.
It's not going to be enough until it is very personal. The earthquakes and the disasters and the things if you don't understand are organized. Because what is on November 3rd?
What makes this even stranger is that Oprah has been linked to disturbing allegations before. Remember back in 2020 when rumors exploded about her alleged involvement in trafficking? The internet went wild with claims that her Florida mansion was raided by authorities, with underground tunnels supposedly discovered beneath the property. Oprah denied those accusations, calling them baseless lies, but the fact they ever gained traction speaks volumes about how connected she's been to these types of scandals over the years.
Well, if you were on social media last night, you certainly saw that there were two things trending. Hashtag Oprah did what and hashtag Oprah arrested. It got so big that's why she decided she had to address this. It was a story that was clearly a false story, as Oprah said.
And then Allie Carter seemingly implicated Oprah in the underground world she's been exposing. According to Allie, Oprah has been closely linked to elite parties that may have involved dark activities. Now some high-profile locations tied to these rumors were spared during the
I mean, it is interesting how Harvey Weinstein and Oprah are the best of buddies.
recent LA fires, while others, including areas with direct connections to ongoing investigations, weren't so lucky. What's even more suspicious is that Oprah herself made a statement about the fires in LA, saying they were a devastating tragedy for so many families. But critics pointed out how she avoided mentioning the destruction near high-profile estates tied to ongoing investigations. And it all looks even weirder with Allie's revelations that there is another high-profile arrest coming.
It's the third arrest that is coming. There's two that are now. The world is going to crumble when they see this next arrest. In the meantime, there's going to be death, distractions, and fires to hide evidence. Watch for it, ask questions, demand answers.
Allie stated that when she came to Oprah's home, she was welcomed with a kiss. But not simply a hug-and-cheek affair. She stated Oprah kissed her on the tongue. She alleges Oprah gave her a tablet, which Allie assumed was cocaine, and it was only the beginning. Allie then stated she was directed to have an X-rated experience with someone of her choice. She added there was another female with her and someone she personally knew from Carter High School in Montana. And that girl, Oprah supposedly sent her to a different room to be with someone else. Oprah may be one of the more stunning names Allie revealed, but she's not the only one. Because shortly after that, Allie brought up Denzel Washington. Now it was one that had folks really holding their pearls, since Denzel has been recognized as one of the nice guys in Hollywood for decades. But according to Allie, he was there at one of Diddy's renowned parties. Yes, one of those parties where Diddy would eventually get arrested.
He would get arrested, and I told you guys in that Maria Z interview in 2021 that no one tells on Diddy. P. Diddy. Alright? Just the same way nobody tells on Denzel Washington. We tried to back up. We've tried to tell you everything that we can, and now we have people messaging us, investigators, people that want to talk now
when now it's because it's trending.
Now, whatever he saw in there must have been next level frightening, since Denzel doesn't strike you as the kind to create a scene unless something really severe went down. And the narrative deepens because comedian Brandon T. Jackson allegedly stated that Denzel offered him some cryptic advice concerning Hollywood happenings. Denzel instructed him, always leave 30 minutes before the devil gets there.
If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed.
So what do you do?
That's a great question. What is the long-term effect of too much information? One of the effects is the need to be first, not even to be true anymore. So what a responsibility you all have to tell the truth, not just to be first, but to tell the truth. We live in a society now where it's just first. Who cares? Get it out there. We don't care who it hurts. We don't care who we destroy. We don't care if it's true. Just say it, sell it. Anything you practice, you'll get good at, including BS.
I want to just ask you, though, about the issue of race relations, because the film touches upon that. Right now, under President Obama, over the last 8 years, in your mind, have race relations improved under his leadership?
Race relationships have to do with race relationships. You're white or whatever you are. I'm black or whatever I am. We're standing here talking now. That's how we get things done. You can't legislate love. The President of the United States can't legislate us into liking each other. We have to step forward and ask questions about each other and engage. There's no law that says, oh, because I'm president, you all got to get along now. So it's up to us.
And there's been so many protests in America, especially during the election. Black Lives Matter movement, for example, and those issues. Has that movement in particular, the Black Lives Matter movement, helped race relations or not in America?
Well, listen, we live in America. And in America, we have the freedom to express ourselves. We shouldn't take that for granted. So whatever the movements are, whether you agree with them or don't, they have the right to express themselves. So that's one of the great things about being in this country, that you do have the right to protect.
Now, at that time, that could have simply sounded like serious celebrity conversation, but when you line it up with all these accusations and the stories about what actually occurs at these parties, that line is struck a little different. But it doesn't end there, because what Ollie showed about one party in particular, it was next level troubling. She explicitly revealed that an incident that happened place around 2009 to 2010 at the Playboy Mansion, and this wasn't just typical Hollywood connect-up. According to Ally, here was where the A-list celebs like Birdman, Giselle Robinson, and Young Jock were supposedly doing awful things behind closed doors. She alleged that the young girls and boys were brought in as what they termed party favors, real human props put into X-rated scenarios.
I never thought that we would see the day where Diddy would get arrested, and I told you guys in that Maria Z interview in 2021 that no one tells on Diddy. P. Diddy. Alright? Just the same way nobody tells on Denzel Washington. People don't usually talk and stop and think about the children victims that are going through things right now as we speak, and the ones who suffered through all this bullshit. You should be demanding answers from all the celebrities that are quiet. Answers your question of who's involved with the Diddy client list. It answers your question of who is involved with the Ghislaine Maxwell list. It answers your question of who's on those flight logs. It answers your question of who's been on those islands. Where did those children come from? People still are not asking. Where did those children come from? People are still not checking Child Protective Services custody. Did you get an Amber Alert for them? No. Did anybody question that neighbor of Diddy's? He said there were buses coming at 3 a.m. Did anybody ask what kind of buses? Who was driving the bus? Where did that bus go? How many kids was on that bus? Why didn't anybody say anything? If you went to a Diddy party, why the hell are you protecting the predators that weren't protecting a child?
One of the most horrifying aspects she recounted was what she dubbed body cakes, where individuals were supposedly compelled to lay on tables nude, covered in food, and visitors were expected to eat off of them like it was normal. Now, this is the type of thing that we've really seen on TV and in newspapers, and Allie's been warning people about it. So it's not just tales, she's linking names, places, and patterns. It makes you question whether someone like Denzel Washington saw something and bolted. How many others saw the same thing and opted to stay? But we can't stop at Denzel, because Ellen DeGeneres is also getting drawn into this issue, and not for the first time. So just to be clear, it seems like Denzel fled, and he's in the clear. But now Ellen, a different story. Rumors about Ellen being related to shady Hollywood circles may have been circling for years, but now Allie's allegations are placing her name front and center. And just like Oprah, Ellen's been doing the same exact thing, trying to go away, lying low and staying very quiet. Now, why are all these great people now relocating? It's giving, what are y'all fleeing from?
Tell me about your. All right, we're back.
Us.
And it gets darker because Allison Holker, Twitch's widow, has launched a book that's had folks looking sideways. In it, she talks up about Twitch's difficulties with narcotics. And although it's all wrapped around loss and healing, it's also raising some serious issues. Because let's not forget, Twitch was Ellen's right-hand guy for years. He was her DJ, her hype person, her go-to. And now that Allie is claiming Ellen was supposedly linked to those names in Diddy parties that trafficked young kids, folks are questioning, was Twitch exposed to that lifestyle himself? And more crucially, did he see too much?
We're learning more tonight about the tragic suicide of Stephen Twitch Boss and the detailed steps he took to hide his plans. TMZ is reporting when Twitch left his home the day before his suicide, he took an Uber to a motel about a mile away. At the motel, he switched his phone to airplane mode so no one could reach him. The motel manager says he checked in under his own name and never left his room. We also now know that Twitch left his suicide note. Details have not been made public, but TMZ reports the note alluded to challenges Twitch had faced in the past. Entertainer Tyler Perry knows firsthand what that is like.
I want to take you back to a time in my life where I tried to commit suicide a couple of times because it was so dark. I thought the only way to make this better, this pain go away, is to end my life. Had any of those attempts happened, I would have missed the best part of my life.
Some fans are suggesting that maybe Twitch's death wasn't as straightforward as it appeared. Was it truly a catastrophe spurred on by internal battles? Or was there anything more evil hidden under the surface? Because y'all, when many names are being related to this same underground network, and when individuals close to them start dying, missing, or falling quiet, you've got to start asking the appropriate questions. And that's what has folks suggesting maybe Allie isn't in protective custody solely because of the Diddy issue. Maybe this goes far deeper. Maybe there are larger identities and greater truths they're attempting to hide. And Allie, she could be the only one brazen enough to dig them up. But now I've got to know what y'all think about this. Is Jaguar Wright endorsing Allie Carter's claims? Or is this simply another Hollywood conspiracy that has gotten out of control? Is there any substance to Allie's charges, or is she merely attempting to clout chase? And most importantly, do you believe these A-list celebs she's been calling out will ever face real justice? Or are they simply going to utilize their money, position, and influence to keep ignoring the truth? Drop your opinions in the comments below, since you already know I'll be there reading every single one of them. And if you got it this far, you already know what to do. Better slam that like button, press subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next drop.